Hi, may I speak to Aaron?
Is this a real estate agent?
Damn, dude, how'd you know?
I mean, I've just been getting so many phone calls today, man. I'm not interested in putting it back on the market, though.
I can imagine you've been pretty popular today. What's even got you thinking about selling this home? Like, what was the goal in the first place?
We were thinking about it, but we're not thinking about it anymore. So I appreciate you calling.
If you don't mind me asking, I guess what changed?
We just didn't get what we wanted.
You were able to receive some offers while you were on the market.
Yeah, they just came in really low, and I'm not going to give it away.
It's really nice property. I would never ask you to give it away. I guess, what are your thoughts on why you weren't getting the offers that you deserve?
The agent just told me it was the market.
I'm not here to step on anybody's toes, and I can hear the frustration in your voice, Aaron. While you were on the market, there was actually a few properties that sold within your price point. And I hear all the time that it's the market. The question isn't whether buyers are out buying homes. The question is, why weren't they picking yours? It sounds like, through no fault of your own, you're not specifically clear as to why the property wasn't selling at the time. I guess I'm curious, how did you happen to pick the last agent you decided to work with?
Yeah, it's an agent that we've worked with before.
Okay. And I can see how you felt that was a good idea. And what do you think that could have been done differently to may have gotten the home sold during that time?
I don't know. I mean, what would you have done differently?
Yeah, that's actually the point of the call, man. And again, I can hear the frustration. And I know you said you want to wait, but what I propose is that it's not necessarily what I would do differently. It's actually what I would try to do better. And I'm not sure if you're open to this, but most people do take the time to interview a few different agents if they decide to go back onto the market just to get a couple different opinions around price, commission. And it sounds like for you, a marketing strategy to actually get the home sold. So, I mean, if you got an offer that you were looking for today, is it something, you didn't even entertain at this point?
I mean, maybe. It depended on what it was.
Got it. So, you were listed at 700. If you got something at that number or more, is it something you'd want to move forward with?
I mean, sure, if I got that number. Why do you feel confident you'd be able to get that?
Well, I do a lot of business in the area, and it's really not about me, though. It's about you and your family's goals. So I guess that leads me to the most important question of all. What's even got you thinking about selling the home in the first place?
Yeah, we were thinking about moving over to that neighborhood over there. It's got a better school district.
Got it. And is it still important to get over there, or could you just hold on to the property forever?
It's still important, but I just don't see how we can make it happen.
Yeah, and look, after coming off the market, I can see why you're feeling a bit deflated, we could say. My goal is to help, never to talk you into do anything. So what I would propose, if you're open to it, I'm always in the area. What I like to do is simply just pop by, see what the property has to offer, and we can talk about a couple things while I'm there. And one, why the property may have had trouble selling, and two, how we're going to remove those barriers, get you the price you want in the time that works for you, and get you into that other area in the better school district. So if we could do something like that, would you and your family be open to something like that?
I don't know. Can't you just tell me over the phone?
Yeah, look, I'd love to. It'd certainly save me some time. I'm happy to send you some information about myself and my track record. I do like to get my eyes on the property just so I can, see what I'm getting into and put together a plan that suits your property best. Does that make sense?
I guess so, but I have to talk to my wife first.
Of course. Look, dude, I'm married myself, right? If I had some random dude over the house, without her consent, I'd probably get a slap upside the head here. But I got a pencil here with a big eraser. So in normal circumstances, what typically works best for you and your wife time-wise? Is it evenings, afternoons?
I don't know. Maybe in the evenings.
Okay, great. Well, so why don't we do this? And I understand the holidays are coming up, so you're probably super busy. But what I can do, this isn't written in blood, and I got a big eraser here on this pencil. I'm going to pencil you in, if it's okay, for tomorrow at 6. It gives you time to talk to your wife. It gives me time to do my research on your property. And in the event she says absolutely not, look, we can just cancel and move on and maybe touch base in the new year. But at least then I have that time slot open for you. Would something like that work for you?
Yeah, I guess so.
And listen, I appreciate all your time, and I'm looking forward to helping you and your family get to that new school district. I do just have a few more questions, and I know your time is valuable, so I'll be super freaking brief here. And then I'd go into pre-qual.
All right, good. So how'd that feel to you?
I talk too much a little bit. That's like my Achilles heel. You're not super motivated. I didn't get enough of your motivation, probably.
Yeah, so I can tell you've been practicing, which is good. I can hear that. and it flowed well. It's conversational. So a couple things that jumped out at me. So right out of the gate, when he's like, "Oh man, I've been bombarded with phone calls," like you did, you're like, "Yeah, I'm imagining that that wasn't your intention when you woke up this morning. I'll be sure to take it off my list. I guess while I have you on the phone." Right. So it's a good like transition. Like, hey, I'll be sure to take it off my list, which makes them think like, okay, we're done here. But while I have you on the phone, if you don't mind me asking, the home's lovely. It's in a great geographic area. Hopefully, I'm not being too straightforward. I mean, was there any particular reason you were even considering selling it? And if you hear in my tonality, it's like, why would you ever do that? Which encourages to kind of talk to me. You ended up circling back at the end to the motivation, right? But like at the beginning there, like there's like, was there any particular reason you were even considering selling it? Well, if you did sell the home, because again, it's lovely, it's in a great geographic area, was your intention to stay here locally? Were you trying to go somewhere else, right? To really like flesh out motivation. And then I let you know there was an opportunity where I let you know, like, yeah, I did receive offers. And you're like, oh. And it's like, yeah, so I'm imagining that those offers weren't acceptable to you at that time. Is that right? Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, like, if an offer came in around what you had received, do you think you would consider it now? Right. To really just kind of continue to flesh that out. You could even ask, like, my intention asking isn't to be nosy, just to see if I could give you any more information that could be helpful or useful in some way. If you don't mind me asking, like, what did the offers come in at? Well, they came in at like 650. It's like, okay. And I'm aware at that time that wasn't something that you would even consider. I guess now, 6 months later, and with your desire to get in that new school district, do you think that's something you'd be open to? Because like leading with this idea that I can get you that price, it's not really genuine because you won't be able to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And you're kind of setting yourself up. There's a little nuance there. And then the other thing I noticed is when I asked you about like, yeah, I got to talk to my wife first. You handled it well. Like, okay, there's an additional question that you can ask there. So it's like, yeah, I get that. I certainly would want you guys to be on the same page. All of that extra stuff about being slapped up, like you don't need to do that. Yeah, like I'm 100%. I want you guys to be on the same page. I'm married. I understand that completely. I guess I'm curious, right? Because I can hear in your voice not only the disappointment, but if you could get into the school district, like you still want to make it happen. I'm wondering, how does your wife feel about it? It's like, yeah, man, she's the whole driving force behind this. Like she wants to get them into the school district no matter what it takes. It's like, okay. So being that that's the case, I have to imagine that if she knew that there was somebody who could shed some light on the situation, give you a clear picture as to why it didn't sell and what you would need to change to ensure that it does. I mean, obviously she'd want to speak to them, wouldn't she? But yeah, she probably would. Okay, so how about we do this? I'll grab a pencil with a big eraser. And if we were to connect under normal conditions, would you guys usually be available in the evenings or afternoons? Evenings. Okay, and evenings for you is at like or 6 or 7. Well, so what I'll do is I'll grab a pencil with a big eraser. I'll pencil it in, let's say for tomorrow at 7. Right? I'll have my assistant or myself, like I'll call you just to confirm, make sure that that time still works. If something comes up for you guys, if we need to change it or move it around, we can always do that. Does that sound okay? Yeah, that's fine. All right. So before we connect, I just have a couple and then go into the pre-qual. So I want you to hear me like on a whole, it's like a solid B plus. Like I can hear you, you're practicing, it's conversational, like all that's great. These little subtle nuances will help you to, just convert at a little bit higher level.